Hello.
Hello.
What's
Hey,
going on? No
hey, how's
ways
it
was.
going?
How are you?
Good, good. That one story, the last guy that was on here, kind of hit close to home for me. Um, I've had similar things happen to me, in the city I used to grow up in. Like it's like this old city up in Pennsylvania. Most people don't really go over there. Um, but a lot of things have happened to me in that city. And as soon as I left Pennsylvania, like for some reason, these weird, strange occurrences, they don't really happen, as much anymore. Um, but the one occurrence that always strikes me, that always like stuck with me, the city I grew up in, there was a lot of abandoned buildings, and my friends and I used to just break into these abandoned buildings and make these places like our little secret hideouts. This was like late 90s, early 2000s.
All right.
Yeah. And we used to make these places like our hideouts. There was this one time that we got into like this abandoned building, and we were like, whoa, this place looks pretty cool. And there was like graffiti all over the walls, but we noticed that there was this certain graffiti that was leading us somewhere in the building. Like it was telling us to like follow the arrows. So we kept following them because we were like, oh, maybe this is going somewhere, cool or whatever. So we follow the arrows and we're going up flights of stairs, you know, going up to like the third, the fourth, and the fifth floor. It's like some abandoned factory. So my friends and I, we go through rooms, see if there's anything cool that's around, and we notice like the a bunch of the rooms in the abandoned building. It looked like a bunch of homeless people had like made it their home. Like there was like mattresses and just like TVs and mirrors and all this stuff. It looked like there was people straight up living there.
All right.
Um, there was a bunch of bikes, like tons and tons of bikes. Like I'd say probably like 30, 40 bikes just sitting on the first floor, and we walked right by them.
Huh.
But we kept, yeah, yeah, really weird stuff. We kept following the signs, leading us. And we finally made it to the fifth floor, and we went up the stairs, and there was a sign that said, open up the door. We opened up the door, and it was a giant hole that went all the way from the fifth floor to the first floor. If we had walked in there without like being careful, we would have just fallen 5 flights straight down.
Oh my God.
So we're like, screw that.
Yeah.
We turned around, but the thing is, when we came back down, everything was gone. Like, there was no more mattresses, there was no more mirrors, there was no more TVs, there was nothing. The place was like completely vacant. And we were like, what is going on? We were only up there in those stairs for like maybe 2 minutes max, and
Right.
everything was gone. Like everything. There was clothes hanging up on like coat hangers and stuff like that. Gone, all of it. And we started getting like, we are like, yo, this doesn't feel right. Like, we need to get up out of here. So we started going down the stairs, and we noticed that a lot of the doors started like, they were locked now, and we couldn't get out. So we ended up breaking one of the windows, and we had to climb out the side of the building. And when we went around the front, we noticed all the bikes were gone too. And we were like, damn, we were gonna take one of those bikes and something. Yeah, we were just kids,
Yeah.
but we were like, dang, I really wanted one of those bikes. What happened? Like this doesn't feel right. This is so off. Like this is so weird. Everything is gone, and we literally walked into this building like not even like 10, 15 minutes ago, and it looked like there's people living in it.
Wow.
So we walked out, and yeah, we had to climb out the side of a window, and we were just like, yeah, let's not go over there anymore. And
Yeah.
a couple months later, the building was getting torn down. Um, it is so to me that like within a minute or two, everything in that building just completely disappeared.
It's weird. It's like another story. It's like another case of a dimensional slip or something like that, where you were seeing something from another time or another dimension, you know?
Yeah, no, it's straight up like there was four of us in there, and we all swore we're like, yo, there was people living here, like straight up, there was people living here when we walked in. Like there's nobody in the building, but there was definitely people living here because there was mattresses, TVs, there was clothes, all sorts of stuff all over the place in separate rooms. And as soon as we came back down those stairs, everything was gone.
Wow.
And I don't know why all the doors started locking up as soon as we started like trying to get up out of there. Cause
It's
like,
almost like you were in another building, like a different, you know what I mean? It was the same building, but like a different place. It was just weird. The everything's gone, all the doors are locked. It's like, you know what I mean? You're in a different time or something.
I don't know. It was just one of those weird holes. I don't know who made that big hole, but it was a big hole. Like it was like the hole was pretty big to where like all of us could like easily fall in there at the same time. And it went all the way down to the first floor.
Wow, that's a big hole. My God, you could see through it like all the way down to the.
Yeah. We could see the bikes all the way from the hole. We could see like light coming in from the building, and we can make out the bikes that were on the first floor.
Oh, all right, so
That's
they were
how.
still the bikes were still there, and then by the time you got down to the first floor, the bikes were gone, and that everything was
Yep.
gone. Wow,
Everything was gone. Everything.
that is strange. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and it made absolutely no sense to any of us because like we're like, okay, maybe if like some clothes went missing, then probably some homeless dude thought that like we found his spot and he like got up out of there, right?
Right.
But it makes no sense that all of these different rooms in this entire like this huge warehouse, I'm talking 5 floors, like all these different rooms that had stuff in them, like people were living in these rooms, just everything completely gone all at once, and we didn't hear a thing. You would hear something like that.
Yeah, especially if they're moving a bunch of bikes too, like you know what I mean? That's so weird.
Yep. um I don't know if there was any missing time after that. As a kid, you don't really think about that sort of stuff. We're just hanging out. The day goes by and you don't even think of the time.
Right. Yeah. So you don't have any idea. You guys, were you in there for only like 10 minutes, or did it feel like you were in there longer? Or could you remember anything like that? Or,
Well, I mean, so this abandoned building was right across the street from my elementary school. And, us as kids, like, we got out of school and we're like, yo, we've never been in that building before. Let's make it our new hideout spot. Took us like couple minutes to find like some opening in the fence,
Yeah.
and we got in there. We were probably in that building for a total of like 20, 25 minutes at most. I don't know if there's any missing time. I don't know, if there's anything paranormal going on, but it was definitely one of the most strangest experiences I've ever had in my life, and it's still stuck with me to this day.
Yeah, that is, man. I mean, I never heard of a whole interior, like everything inside of a building going gone like within minutes, you know?
Yep. And it was all like seamless, it's like it was all seamless. Like we went up those stairs, opened up the door, we saw a hole, we were like, oh shit, that's a big ass hole. Let's go back down, get up out of this building,
Yeah.
right? It was all so seamless. And then as soon as we walked in that one room, we're like, hold on, wasn't there a whole bunch of stuff in here? And then we started looking into other rooms and we're like, yo, everything's gone. What the hell happened?
Yeah. My God. And then the bikes too. That's the most shocking thing. 'Cause you need 40 people to move 40 bikes, or like at least 20, to take two each.
Yeah,
And that,
no,
the clanking and all the
dude,
sounds it would make, and no.
dude, it looked like somebody had been taking a bunch of bikes and storing them in this building. Like it was it was an insane amount of bikes. Like we were just like, oh, if we take four, they probably won't even notice. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
that's how many bikes were just sitting there.
And then they're all gone in just a matter of minutes. My God.
Yep.
Oh, well, that is
This happened. This happened this was like early 2000s. Um, the building is now a boys and girls club. Last time I went back to that city I grew up in. And
right.
right across from it is abandoned prison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like if you ever look up York, Pennsylvania, you'll see this elementary school, Alexander D. Good Elementary. Right across from the soccer field is an abandoned prison that's been there since like the 1800s. And right across the street from the prison was where the abandoned building used to be, and now it's a boys and girls club.
Huh.
Yep. I've snuck into the prison too. It is creepy.
I can't
Um
imagine, man.
nothing I would there was nothing paranormal that ever happened to me in the prison. It was just really dusty and old, you know? Um but I mean that was just cuz we were there during the day. Maybe something different might have happened if we were there at night. Um I don't know. It's definitely one of those spots that a lot of ghost hunters want to get into.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They love the old prisons.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to share my story. There's a whole bunch of other things that happened to me in that city. A lot of weird, strange things that I don't know. For some reason, as soon as I left that city, that kind of stuff just never happens anymore. It's just something about that city.
Well, we'll be doing this at least once a week on the Sundays, and then look for me to pop up during the weeknights here. And you're welcome to come back anytime and share some more.
Definitely. All
Awesome.
right.
Sweet.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Have
buddy.
a
You
good
have a
night.
good night. Yeah, thank you. You have a great night. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
All right, take care now.